start to a new week. This commentary is pertaining to Riley Strain. New information is coming out. As I said in my live yesterday, I don't know what's going on. I haven't the foggiest idea. This case is like going all over the place, and it may be just the fact that naturally I'm just a spectator, don't know what really happened to the young man. But what is baffling at the moment is the card being found by TikTokers, a body surfacing in the same body of water. No Riley Strain. The body is not believed to be his body, nor that of Mr. Sebastian Rogers, 15 years of age, missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. This is just all bizarre to me. And naturally, it could be a coincidence, but it's just bizarre. I've put a lot of content up since this morning. Feel free to go to my community page to watch other people's content. One guy takes you on the trail of, the path that he took. But what's baffling is, like I said, the card, who found it, a body popping up the same day. What else I'm trying to say? The body not being his, which is a good thing, but still bad for whatever body that is. Is that body a connection to this case? Him allegedly going to ask the people at the bar about a tab. That's strange to me. Then put out. But then now we have a video of him walking fine and talking to a cop, where he's not stumbling, not falling. I would assume if he was bleeding, don't you think the cop would say, hey, what's going on? Why you got blood on your shirt? Why you got blood on your head? Stay woke. The cop is there investigating a burglary of an automobile. You can see a red truck had a back window busted out. So you're not going to definitely be looking at this guy walking by, although he's walking towards the truck, but it doesn't matter. You're still in the vicinity of a vandalized vehicle. So hell yeah, I'm going to look at you. I'm going to look you up and down. So this is where we're about to get real. It's about to get real funky. Or it's funky now. Running, falling, somebody assuming that he fell and hurt himself. Some of us felt like maybe he hurt himself. But like I said, you really couldn't see the boulder, the pole, to say he hit his head, or like some cop said, maybe fell, hit his head on the concrete. Looks like he was touching his head, looking at his hand. Another point, you see his arm stretched out like he's looking at his phone. And then we have this video here, which puts a whole new spin on everything that you just previously saw. He's walking fine. You can hear him scuffling in the boots, hitting the concrete. How you doing, sir? And he's saying he's fine. And like I said, wouldn't a cop notice that something's off-putting, disheveled, dirty, bleeding, this commentary about vomit on his shirt? Just saying. I don't know what the hell to believe at this point. What I'm going to say may offend some people, but I'm going to say it because it needs to be said, because a few people are saying it, just like this cop whose content I've shared. He said it on his video. He laid out all the possibilities that he came up with. Hope this isn't a hoax. And I've said it, and maybe 2 or 3 other people said it in the chat since I made these videos. Because that cop, he also mentioned on his channel about Carly Russell. And this is giving me some really bad vibes. Because naturally, I don't want the boy deceased. But nor do I want to hear that this is all made up for attention or whatever. Mad at these frat boys for deserting him or orchestrating about all of them. I don't know. But you seeing him now walk straighter than he was walking in the previous videos where he fell, got up. No, he ran, fell, got up, seeming to be disoriented or hurt, all over the place. But then when he walks by the cop, you would assume this is afterwards. He's just walking along. And everybody keeps talking about he fell in the river. He fell in the river. If you look at what they keep showing you on the news, you got to ask yourself, even drunk, would I be going over there? For what? You have one way you could get in down there closer to the river. It's a whole pathway you could walk. Why am I going to want to jump over something to fall into trees, bushes, and then rocks when there's a whole pathway he would pass to go down and to do what? Jump in it? Depressed? Upset? You got to make it make sense. Let's get started, everybody. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $McAngie, 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you so much. We're going to get to the bottom of this one way or the other, but it don't look good to me. And it's in the kind of good, the bad I'm talking about is not the unalive type bad. More like somebody just walked off and kept it moving. The card issue, that's going to make a lot of people think, okay, he fell down there or it fell out when he rolled down. But you got to know exactly that he entered that water right there where that card was found, or somebody threw it down there. It's still a long way to throw a card down, to land there. It's just too many questions that you're really just assuming, because at this point you don't know what the hell happened. But this is all baffling to me. Too baffling. Let's get started. Thank you for joining me. Okay, everybody.
I found his card. Yeah, I did. And my stomach dropped. We begin with breaking news tonight as two women on TikTok uncover a startling piece of evidence in the disappearance of college student Riley Strain. Those girls finding the 22-year-old's bank card right by the river. This launching even more search efforts today, as Fox 17 News is now asking Metro Police if this changes the course of their investigation. It's the first major clue Strain in several days since he went missing March 8th. Riley's bank card discovered by Anna Clendening and Brandy Bainan, both on TikTok and passionately committed to helping bring Riley home.
Riley's face, I'm seeing every time I close my eyes. I haven't been able to sleep the last few days because I know his mom is not sleeping.
Brandy homeless camps and the steep Russian garbage-laden riverbanks since Tuesday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I did over 18,000 steps out here.
Sunday, their effort produces a significant piece of evidence right near where Riley was last seen, according to police.
9 days later, we found the credit card. 9 days later. It was pretty obvious that there was a card. I don't know, we need to do more. We need to do more.
Surveillance video shows Riley walking in the wrong direction after leaving Luke Bryan's bar, visibly intoxicated. His cell phone pings and sightings on video right in the area where the bank card was found. Search boats then arriving several hours later. Metro Police haven't yet responded to Fox 17 News' inquiry on whether the case has changed from no believed foul play to a criminal investigation. Riley's family at the river today working tirelessly to track down any leads possible and continuing to thank the many people who continue to help. These women vowing not to let up.
We want answers for them, and we're going to look for them. Yep. Yeah, they absolutely will. Yep.
Well, Riley's family went to check on the surveillance video today as well as all this was unfolding. No one on if that revealed anything. I'll certainly update you later on. But they do hope to continue to post flyers in a several-mile radius around where Riley was last seen, certainly trying to keep his name out there.
All right, Anise 24, very good question. At this point, you know, all questions are viable, you know. Hello, hey. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. All questions are viable at this point because now you're getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's still not adding up to me. And most people who follow my network know how I navigate. I don't believe everything that's told to me. I never have and I never will. Because I don't have to. Because I know that people lie. And I won't doubt that even in this story there's a lie. And most people say, well, why would anybody lie? He's missing. The point is you don't know people. That's the point. And there are people in the story who have a lot to lose, such as Mr. Luke Ryan. He owns this bar. His name is on it. Whether he was there or not, his namesake is on the building. So he has a lot to lose. Anything negative comes from an investigation pertaining to this young man missing. Somebody gave him too much alcohol. Somebody kept serving him when they saw he was drunk. What's baffling is we're going from drunk to thrown out. Nobody walked him out. Nobody cared. Nobody in the city helped him, to a now new video body cam from a cop investigating a burglary of a truck, and he's walking by just fine. Now, you put that on paper. So what? He walked himself around sober. Stay woke. The family going to see video today. I wonder what that's all about. As I brought you content earlier from a alleged cop, he has a YouTube channel. Please go to my page to check out that content. I would play it, but I don't want any copyright strikes because, you know, I don't know about sharing his content. But it's on my community page. He brings up a lot of valid points as a cop, because you always have to remember everybody's perception in life is different. That's why you got so many different comments in below the videos. This person thinks this. This person thinks this. Kidnapping, fell in the water, beat up, killed, human trafficking. Always human trafficking. I don't mean to be rude, but, you know, give that a rest. You know, I notice every time something happens to somebody, that's the first thing somebody throws out. Human trafficking. It rarely is it human trafficking. Especially when it's dealing with domesticated situations. A child goes missing. It don't be no human trafficking. It be their dirty ass parents. Now, in this case, what is the truth? Because you have to admit, this is a strange story. Now that you're getting TikTokers coming out of nowhere. Yeah, I said that because it's odd to me. Could it be a coincidence that they happen to find his ID, his bank card, and then poof, voila, a body just goes floating by? If I didn't know any better, it was like I was watching a Lifetime movie. I'm just saying. And I don't mean any disrespect to anybody, but I'm a realist. I deal with real problems every day, real people, crazy people, grimy ass people. So that's how my view comes about when I talk about true crime. I don't dissect true crime like the average person. I just don't, and I never will. Because I can only judge it from a perspective that I have lived. And that's a life of crazy nonsense. Because every day you see something crazy. And right now, this is getting whack. Now, it's not to say that after he passed that cop, that something nefarious, didn't happen to him. Maybe that's what happened. Out of sight from the cop, somebody jumps him, pushes him down over the rail. Because you got to know exactly where he got into the water on that sidewalk. And it's dirty, it's nasty, it's steep, it's full of rocks. Make it make sense. I've commented all morning on videos. You got to know how he got to the water. You assuming because they found that card, that's how he got there? I don't know. And let me tell you something else. If they do find his body in the water and he's wearing that damn black and brown shirt, then whoever said they saw that homeless man in the shirt, then that means they lied. Stay woke. This is why you can't believe everything that's been said in a story, because you don't know the people you're dealing with. You don't know Riley. You don't know his frat brothers. You don't know the people at the bar. You don't know to believe the homeless people that have talked. You don't know to believe the woman and the boyfriend that said they saw him walking and he was fine. Don't you find that funny? Oh, he was walking, he was fine. He was fine when he walked by me. Say it again, Queen. He was fine when he walked by me. I didn't notice anything strange. So when that person said that, I thought that was kind of odd. Okay, he wasn't falling over. So when did you see him? What was that time? So this is why all this is starting to get real grainy. Running for no reason, falling down, don't know if he hurt himself, gets up acting disoriented, walking by random people, holding his hand out like he's talking on the phone, which we heard. Allegedly, he did talk to somebody on the phone. So I'm assuming he was FaceTiming or video chatting or whatever. This couple said they saw him and he looked okay. Now we got this dash body camera where he's just lollygagging around. So what is really going on here? I'm just saying. Because I'm going to say this to you. Everything's mass produced. A shoe. I have seen things I bought from the thrift store. Stuff given to me. I've seen it 1,000 times over in a damn thrift store. Especially like the little makeup bags. Because those things are mass produced. Pictures I've gotten. I've seen them on television. I've seen them in famous people's houses. That Starburst mirror that's in my house. I know I've seen that Starburst mirror at least 5 times since I got it. Niecy Nash had it in her house. She had it in pewter. I got it in gold. She got it in pewter. You see where I'm going? Everything's mass produced. So did that woman sell that shirt a homeless man? How did the card get down there? When was it put down there? Bingo card. Now you got to try to figure that out. They say it wasn't spent. So that means the person stole the card or the car fell out when he fell off. You got to prove to me that he went over that rail on purpose. Because like I said, there's different points of entry into the river. And if we're talking about miles of river, make it make sense. Now, most will say, well, Angela, he had to have gone in the river where the girls found the car. Well, I don't know that because I wasn't there. And I just know the walkway at the top where he's walking past the cop is higher than the river. So you got to make me believe he walked down in there, either through the brush, the cement ledge, for what reason? Or somebody pushed him over in there. They were tussling. This shit ain't adding up. I'm sorry. This is bad. Let's hear from the family. And then we'll go into the other content. Thank you for joining me. 24 says the car wasn't covered in debris. Well, honey, you're asking the wrong sister. Because right now, I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words with this story. Because now it's taking a new spin to some degree because he's walking fine.
That's going to help bring missing Missouri student Riley Strain home. Good evening, I'm Kelsey Gibbs. Metro Police say Riley's bank card was found on the Cumberland River embankment along Gay Street. Our Nikki Hauser has been in contact with the women who say they called police and posted to TikTok after making the discovery.
Another day shining light on Riley Strain's disappearance.
Somebody just doesn't just vanish. Like, where did he go?
On day 9, a potential break in the case. Among the trash that litters the Cumberland River embankment along Gay Street,
let's look at it all.
Police say Riley's bank card.
That's his name.
It's a start. It's a lead. It's something that I hope leads to more answers.
Jana Wright says she knows the 2 women who discovered the card. They regularly post on TikTok and immediately called police when they found it. Over the last few days, Jana searched for Riley with them.
We're a real small group. Some days we're a party of 1, and some days we're a party of 3.
And they're not the only ones to do.
Pretty much I have 4 teenagers older teenagers that are around 20 to 22. So it really to me, it hits home a little bit.
This father and firefighter retraced Riley's steps to make sure nothing was.
Ledge.
I know they have a lot of resources out
Who
here.
would walk down there and jump down there?
Are actually
Say what?
May find little things like they did today. And it could, put the puzzle together.
It's a puzzle that's still not finished, and it's taking a toll on those who care.
You know, the family deserves answers.
Riley's family, police, and so many of you pushing forward to find Riley as we keep hope alive another day. Nikki Hauser, News Channel 5.
We know you care about finding Riley. It's why we're keeping in close contact with the family, police, and others looking for answers. Metro Police say they will continue to search for him.
All right. Bringing you back to content.
It's the longest we've ever gone without talking to him. And I'm sorry. Riley, we're still here, Bubba. We're coming for you. Just help us find you.
Our top story tonight as we continue to cover this missing young man. Another day in the search for Riley Strain has come and gone, and now with thunderstorms out there in Nashville, no sign of this missing college student tonight. He has not been seen in nearly a week after a night out on Broadway last Friday.
Today, crews were back along the Cumberland River looking for any sign of the missing University of Missouri student. Now we're learning new details about his disappearance, as well as how Metro Police crews are trying to track his last location.
Our Sharon Danquist joins us now to break down what we know here tonight, Sharon.
Marius, Tracy, I got a lot of questions from people about tracking Riley's phone and what's being done to get a hold of its location.
These are the surveillance videos we've seen so far. You see 22-year-old Riley Strain stumbling through the streets of Nashville. Police say Riley was kicked out of Luke's bar on Broadway Friday night while on a Mizzou fraternity trip. He told friends he was heading back to their hotel. But video shows him walking up 3rd Avenue North, turning onto Church Street and Gay Street, then disappearing after this last Life 360 ping near James Robertson Parkway.
The last contact with the friends was after he left Luke Bryan's. I believe that one of them had tried to reach out to him. I don't remember if it was by phone or by text. I think he said that he heard, like, it sounded like he was outside. He could hear a lot of loud noise outside, but he couldn't give any more information, and then he wasn't able to actually speak to him.
Police have spent days scouring the area for any clues, but Metro Cold Team Sergeant Robert Nelson says they're also digging through Riley's call logs, text messages, and any location pings that could have gotten lost.
Some of the data we're still waiting on. There's a legal process when you're getting some of this information, and so sometimes it's multiple steps, and a lot of it depends on the company that you're trying to get that information, whether it's social media or a cell phone company.
They're also looking for information on the Apple Watch Riley was wearing. I asked a phone location specialist what else could come from these devices. He says in some of these cases, the companies who created the phone or watch worn can track down more precise locations of them before they lost power.
But right now, we've requested some of that information. We've done emergency pings, and we're just trying to get that information from them.
Sergeant Nelson says right now they're just hoping to get any new information from Riley's phone or watch as soon as possible.
Now, right now, police say Riley's last known location is somewhere in between the Woodland Street Bridge and the James Robertson Parkway Bridge. Marius, Tracy.
Sharon Danquist tonight, thank you. Tonight, we're also learning new details about why Riley left Luke's 32 Bridge. His stepfather says he was asked to leave that bar because bartenders suspected he had been overserved. Riley's stepfather says Riley went up to the bar to pay his tab, but he didn't have a tab open. The bartender told him he had to leave because they thought he, again, had been overserved. This week is...
Make this make sense. Why are we just now hearing this now? He thought he had a tab. Went to pay. This makes no sense to me. Then you say, oh, well, you got to go. So was he asking for another drink and then settle the tab? I don't think that's going on in this story.
As the ABC opened up an...
This makes no sense to me.
Why Riley left Luke's 32 Bridge. His stepfather says he was asked to leave that bar because bartenders suspected he had been overserved. Riley's stepfather says Riley went up to the bar to pay his tab, but he didn't have a tab open. The bartender told him he had...
Why would I go to the bar thinking I have a tab? So he was this drunk that he thought he had a tab? Hi, I come here to pay my tab. My name is Riley Strain. Oh, you don't have a tab. Now get out of here. You're drunk. Okay. What the hell is going on here? Somebody is lying. Somebody is lying. their ass off. Because this shit ain't making no sense. You all keep fishing and fishing for videos, this and that. Now we're getting more of a version. You know it's getting ready to happen now, don't you? Somebody is either getting ready to put another spin on this story, or somebody's going to fucking finally go text somebody and tell them the truth, and then they're going to come back and tell us what really happened in the bar. Because like I said before, the family should want to know everything that this young man was doing on that fateful Friday. Don't ever say, I don't want to know what happened at the bar. I just want to know what happened afterwards. Well, now you got video of him walking around like he was walking a damn dog. So how you go from being barred out because you're drunk, your friend didn't walk you all the way out, take you home, take you back to the hotel, you're walking through the city looking crazy. Now we got you speaking to a police officer after you were stumbling and shit. Man, I'm trying to tell you, something is missing around here. This is so far off, it's ridiculous. I'm really scared to hear what they find out next in video surveillance, because the family has met or meeting with the local police department, and this is bizarre because now we're going from a card found, TikTokers investigating, body popping up, don't know who that is, but it's not him, it's not Sebastian, and now we got body cam footage of the cop investigating a burglary of a truck, and whoop, all of a sudden, he's just strolling by. How you doing, sir? How you doing, sir? I'm good. What the hell? So like I said, so what happened? Somebody jumped him right after he passed the cop. Is that what I'm supposed to believe? He was either jumped, rolled down the embankment, because you got to show how he got in the water. If you're going to say he drowned in that water and floated downward, you got to show the port of entry. And those are railings up there by the sidewalk. So somebody jumped him over there, he fell over, and then he rolled over, hit the rocks, and kept rolling into the damn water, and then floated out. And nobody saw a body floating at night. Nobody's looking out at night. I'm just saying, he sunk. I'm confused. I am utterly confused.
Believe because they thought he, again, had been overserved. This week, the Tennessee ABC opened up an investigation into his disappearance because it is illegal to serve alcohol to people who are visibly drunk. Riley's mother says she just wants to see her son again.
I think the last text was around 7:45.
7:45.
Said I love you, and he said I love you too.
Riley is set to graduate in a few weeks. A GoFundMe to help his family stay in Nashville throughout the search has raised upwards of $38,000. We'll have more on the search starting at 4 a.m. on WSMV4 today.
All right, GoFundMe for the family. Feel free to donate if you'd like to help these people out. Naturally, they need money because it's expensive to stay in a hotel every day. They got to eat. This is so weird to me. Like I said, I don't know where the story is going because now I'm getting thrown off with this car being found and him walking by the cop seeming to be okay. You could hear him shuffling across the concrete in those boots. Don't you think a cop would have said something to him if he saw him bleeding? Hey, what's that blood on your shirt? Hey, come here, let me holler at you. Let me talk to you. Come on, everybody, something's off. Hey, you're drunk. Where are you going? And another thing that ain't nobody saying in the chat. If I am lost and disoriented, I've been allegedly drugged, and some of you think he was drugged, which I'm not about to go there, not after seeing this part of the video. Ding, 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 ding. Officer, can you tell me how to get to Tempo Hotel? Bingo card. You all better wake up out there. Somebody better wake up because some of y'all sleep. What in the hell? Why wouldn't this boy tell the cop I'm lost? Could you please tell me what a Tempo Hotel is? I don't know where I am. I don't know. This is weird. This is past weird. Come on, you guys. get in trouble for public intoxication. Well, Sammy, that's the whole point. Drunk before he got over there by the bridge. Don't you find it strange he's walking better than he was when he was over there at the other street? I'm just saying. You got him talking on the phone at 10 o'clock. But then you got his phone pinging somewhere near a precinct at 11 p.m. All that fit into what we're seeing here of him walking by the cop. Let's take a look, because something's off. Thank you for joining me. Something's off. I hope they put it together, because this ain't looking good. And I'm in a dead person type of way.
All right, welcome back in here to Live and Now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue on here on Live Now from Fox. We do want to give you a brief, minor update out of Nashville on the search that continues for the college student that went missing, Riley. Nashville police releasing just some body cam footage of a brief exchange. Let's listen into this here on Live Now from Fox. You can see the officer and Riley Strain exchange just a brief hello here as the officer was kind of investigating a potential burglary with a car. Let's just listen into this here on Live Now from Fox.
How you doing, sir? Good. How are you? Good.
Hold on.
Just kind of investigating a potential burglary with a car. Let's just listen into this here on Live Now from Fox.
How you doing, sir? Good. How are you? Good.
All right, that was basically the entirety of it. As Metro.
Good. How are you? Good.
Just kind of investigating a potential burglary with a car. Let's just listen into this here on Live Now from Fox.
How you doing?
How are you doing, sir? He does not appear to be falling over. Wouldn't the cop notice blood on his head, his hand, his shirt, to at least inquire, hey, you look hurt. Here, let me talk to you for a second.
Sir. Good. How are you? Good.
He says, hey, how are you?
That was basically the entirety of it. As Metro Police.
What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on here? Hey, somebody please help the queen out. Nothing makes sense. Each day this case gets weirder and weirder. If I was in trouble and passed a cop, I would ask him questions. Yes, you would. You're talking about walking around aimlessly in a city that you are not familiar with, or you are sick. You are hurt. You don't feel good. Why in the world would you continue to walk around when you have the opportunity to, number one, stand outside of Loop 32? That's first and foremost. You didn't have to leave from near that bar. They kicked you out, so what? The street is public. The city owns the street and the sidewalk. Loop 32 don't own the damn street or the sidewalk. Why not stay there and watch your friends come out? I would have texted them to say, hey, I'm standing outside. Are you coming or not? And then I would have Googled Tempo Hotel and made my way back to the hotel. So you see his hand extended when he's crossing that street earlier. So he was FaceTiming somebody. You don't hold your phone way out to text. You do that when you are FaceTiming somebody. This is why I tell people you have to pay attention to the information. So you go back, you rewatch. He was talking to somebody on the phone. So why don't you Google or ask somebody for help. He passed a lot of people. He could have went right next door. There was a business sign on, green sign or so. Hey, can you help me Google? Can you help me put Uber app? I think somebody would have helped him. Or, exactly, Fred, I'm taking a picture. That's my point. See, nobody's really paying attention to the story. Because the one thing I've learned about people, they like to talk, but they don't want to really pay attention to what they're saying. This is why you keep going back and replay the videos. You see something different you didn't notice the last time. You now see his hand is extended. He's either FaceTiming, he's not texting. Because you can't text holding the phone all the way out with your right arm, with your right hand. There's something off here. Now you got to ask yourself, what's the time frame from when we saw him crossing that street after falling, holding his arm out like he's texting or taking a selfie or FaceTiming, he crosses the street, and then you see he turns around like he realized he's going in the wrong direction, and then you have this video here where he's walking way better than what we saw in the other video after he fell. So what is the timeline between falling, getting up, hand extended, crossing the street like he's on the phone, to this video here? Because this is bizarre to me. And the friends should be feeling some type of way. Just like I just got through talking to a guy just now, and he said they weren't his friends. The fraternity is just a title. They were not his friends. He says, there's no way I would have left my friend in no bar, watch him get kicked out, and I stayed behind for whatever reason. And now you're getting information that he thought he had a tab. Well, if he's not drinking a lot, don't you think he would know if he had a tab? That's only something you do if you're drunk. You're really drunk, you don't remember. So he goes up to say, hey, I'm here to settle my tab. And then they say, oh yeah, well, you got to get out of here anyway. This just don't sound right. This is just something just strange about this story. Now you're going to tell us, oh, he had a tab, and that's when I asked him to leave. You're too drunk. So how did he pay for the drink? The one drink and the two waters. And why are you just not telling us this? You didn't tell us this days ago. Oh, wow. I don't really know what I'm listening to. I don't really know what I'm listening to. Because my true self tells me there is more to the story, because it always is. That's the point. Something happened. Something happened in the bar. What happened in the bar? I don't know, but somebody might want to try to find that out. Because the moral of the story is that whatever happened in the bar is the reason why we're talking about Riley Strain today. And this is the part of the story where the parents or the family members don't want to go in the belly of the beast. But you should want to go in the belly of the beast because you need to know what happened to your child. So you need to know what was said, what was not said. How can you get to the truth if you want to glaze over the beginning of the story? That makes no sense to me. Don't worry about what everybody's going to think and say. Don't worry about hurting other people's feelings. You have every right to know what happened in the bar, because the bar is what got us where we are today. Different footage, different pings, falling down, walking around disoriented, then walking by the cop like he was just strolling on the avenue. This is bizarre to me. Now, like I said, He could have got out of sight from this cop, and then somebody jumped him. And they fell over the rail, or he got pushed over the rail and rolled all the way down to the water. Card fell out, pocket, jean pocket, shirt pocket, I don't know. But it's just all strange. I can't say that he was drugged. I'm going to say this. If he was on the phone at 10 o'clock, 9:55 to 10, and his phone pinged at 11, and I'm supposed to believe that's Riley, there's no way I can't see the drugging part. Who could just keep like this? And they don't feel good. This is bizarre to me. This is very bizarre to me. Yeah, that's probably why they're not releasing the bar footage. And I don't understand the parents, the family members who, you know, the one guy that's a relative that keeps saying, we ain't worrying about that. We're not focusing on that. Yeah, buddy, you should be focused on that. Because just like the profiler said, just like the cops said on the YouTube channel, you do not get barred out of a club just because you're drunk. There's a little more that comes with being inebriated, if you see where I'm going with this. You want me to believe that he was the only person intoxicated at the damn bar? Hundreds of people in a bar, and Riley is the only one drunk and asked to leave. You just think about that for just a second. No, something was said or done or both in that bar. And then somebody said, I want him out of here. So what happened in the bar, frat brothers? How about that? Exactly. He had one drink. You getting kicked out after one drink? Because we already know he didn't have one drink that night. They probably drank when they got up. They drank at the hotel, probably had a mini bar. They drank at another bar, don't know how many drinks they had there. So you got to pay attention. You don't bar hop to people watch. So then you got to ask yourself how many drinks he had at the first bar. This is why all this is bizarre. This is how you're going to get to the truth of what happened at Luke 32. How many drinks did you guys drink at bar number 1? Was that the only bar they were at? You got to Luke 32. How drunk was he? The Godfather says they were there an hour and 45 minutes. Stay woke, everybody. You want me to believe they went to bar number 1. We don't know how much they drank there. Luke 32 was the second bar that his little group went to, because it was separate groups going to different bars. And he stayed in this bar for an hour and 45 minutes with one drink and 2 waters. So if I'm going to believe that, then I have to say he was already drunk when he got to Luke 32. Exactly. Pre-game, pre-drunk, pre-drinking. So, sir, ma'am, you served him alcohol, and he probably was already drunk when he walked in. Yep. Just like your mama. Oh, messy Karen. Bring me a receipt. Show me the footage. Show me the footage. That's what I want to see.
Find what you love. Love what you...
Show me the footage of them going inside.
Student the night he disappeared. Police, they released it today on Monday, 10 days after the 22-year-old vanished after leaving a downtown bar in Nashville. The exchange happened on Gay Street, south of Woodland Street Bridge. Of course, in the video, Strain is seen on the sidewalk walking past an officer. Just a very brief exchange, but of course, this is what we're following here very closely on Live Now from Fox. Any detail that they were holding on to. We're also getting some information from Metro Nashville Police saying this, that no evidence of foul play has surfaced as work continues to locate Riley Strain. On Sunday, Riley's parents met with some of the detained and received a full briefing on the work being done. They're also shown available video. They're also went on to say here on Live Now from Fox that no video has been discovered that shows Riley away from Gay Street after 9:52, that time frame. So this is just a bit of information that we're following very closely here on Live Now from Fox. Of course, we did talk yesterday about police discovering the Riley Strain near the Cumberland River, which goes very, very close to that Broadway bar scene there where he was last leaving the bar. You can see that was the exchange there with the National Police. A very brief one that they were investigating a separate issue there on that night. Some 10 days ago, Riley Strain, as the search continues for that college student from Missouri in Nashville there. Live Now from Fox. Let's find a way for another quick break.
What's really going on? Riley Strain. Where is he? Because this is bizarre. This is some bizarre, you know what?
The latest on the search for Riley Strain. Today we're hearing from Metro Police for the very first time since the college student went missing in downtown Nashville.
There's been a large search for the 22-year-old for nearly a week now. He disappeared after being kicked out of a Broadway bar.
Yeah, the SMB's Brendan Tierney is downtown with the very latest details.
First Avenue north at Gay Street here is a busy area where a lot of tourists come every day. So police are surprised no one has found any trace of Riley since he was last seen here on Friday. Search and rescue crews battled their way through the thick brush along the banks of the Cumberland River.
There's a lot of switchbacks, and so it'd be dangerous for anybody really to go down there.
Metro police officers used ropes to lower down to homeless camps along the water where multiple people said they saw Riley Strain before his disappearance.
We try to utilize all resources available.
The 22-year-old Mizzou student was in town for a fraternity formal and vanished after getting kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar. His parents have been in town since the weekend.
We're doing everything we can to stay positive because we've got to be positive. That's the positive outcome we want.
Riley was last seen crossing First Avenue North and going along Gay Street towards the river. Police say they did not see him on security cameras down the road at the courthouse, so they've been able to narrow in the search area.
It gives you hope.
People like Gary Hanner have joined the search, using his boat on the water and talking with people to find new clues.
You know, at this point, we're just looking for anything that can just point towards where Riley is.
Metro police say they're getting multiple Crime Stopper tips every day and are investigating all. At this point, no foul play is suspected, and they're just hoping to bring him home.
Riley, we're still here, Bubba. We're coming for you. Just help us find you.
Police say they're going to keep searching until they find Riley. We've seen dozens of people out here today walking along the river and looking over the railing, trying to help however they can. In downtown, Brendan Tierney, WSMV4.
Bringing you all the latest pertaining to this young man.
Braid, who disappeared downtown Nashville. The Missouri college student was last seen on March 8th after being removed from a bar on Broadway. 10 days later, he is still nowhere to be found. Our video team coverage this morning. News 2's Peyton Kennedy is live near the Cumberland River where Riley was last seen on camera. But first, let's get right to Jaxie Pigeon with Unibel now. Jaxie.
Monica, it was right here under the James Robertson Parkway Bridge where two volunteers stumbled upon Riley's bank card. Now I'm going to have Jerry show you, Jerry, our photojournalist here, where those same volunteers, as well as others, are searching today through mounds and mounds of rubble. Same volunteers, they tell me it's fairly steep and it's hard to see from above, but Jerry went down there.
See, when you look at these pictures, once again, like I said, you're trying to see an exact location of where the cart was and how he could have gotten down there, such as a fall being broke. You know, a lot of rocks and things, tree branches can break or fall. That's what I'm trying to understand. Looking at all this debris, he bypassed all of that and fell down in the river. Please make me understand. If he was in the water, shouldn't he have washed ashore by now? Just another possibility. Well, somewhere, washed up somewhere. But what I'm trying to understand is, from where the girls found the card, is it directly below this debris right here with these homeless tents and tarp? Because if he had fallen right in here, why would I think he rolled over all that trash, plus the rocks underneath that, and then into the water? This is where I'm confused. Because like I said, you could enter the river from either up there, where you see this guy standing, okay? Or right in there with all that debris, or on the other side of that guy. This is where I'm confused, because, naturally you'll say, well, the cart was found on these bottom rocks near the water. So obviously he fell somewhere in here and then rolled into the water. But that's just a lot of rocks that could catch a fall. That's all I'm saying. Something's just strange here to me.
A little bit earlier to maybe give you some insight into what it looks like down there. Like I said, lots of trees, lots of slopes, lots of trash. They were actually using a rake to kind of poke at some of the evidence and also change.
Look at all of that.
And to try to go down without falling. So
exactly. So you look at all that where that guy is standing. Who is to say a fall couldn't have been rolling down? There's a tree there. So that's why I'm trying to understand, where did he enter from the top of that sidewalk to float in the river? That's all I'm saying. Because you got to prove where he went in. Look at all that. A tree branch. Did he fall there? Other side of it? Where? Then they're talking about the pings are past the bridge. So then that means what? He was robbed, jumped, died somewhere before, and then somebody took his phone and they were walking around with the phone.
Efforts, and that is also what Metro Police are urging you to do if you are wanting to search. When I spoke to Metro Police this morning, they confirmed that card was Riley's, and even though it was found here under the James Robertson Parkway Bridge, officials say the last place Riley was seen on camera remains the surveillance footage of him crossing First and Gay, which is about 700 feet from here. Now, the discovery of Riley's car
with that
at
phone.
the same time with the Cumberland River, they had that body found also on Sunday, but officials tell us the body found did not match the description of Riley Strain or 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers missing out of Hendersonville. Now, Metro Police say it was TWRA that located that body. That still has not been decided who that belongs to. We know who it does not belong to, but they're also in talks with the barge operators who are riding around the Cumberland area to be on the lookout. They say they're typically the ones who find bodies in the Cumberland River. We'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more, but for now, live in downtown Nashville, Jaxie Pigeon, News 2.
Thank you, Jaxie. And with much of the search for Riley Strain focused along the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, and as she mentioned, another body found in the river this weekend. We asked Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell about the area's safety.
The bottom of the pallet.
Cumberland now with his response this morning.
Yeah, Nicole, in the search for Riley, Mayor Freddie O'Connell says Metro officials have been working nonstop, and he wants the family to know that. And while much of the search has been focused along the riverbank, he says he doesn't have concerns right now about the river, and he wants to look at this holistically and find out what really happened leading up to those final points that we saw Riley. He did mention some points, though, along the riverbank here that we'll show you, specifically on the east bank by the bridge building and Cumberland Park, where there could be some tweaks and improvements to restrict the easy access to that waterfront. And he says this will be in discussion as they work on the East Bank development. And they've already started discussions with Metro Water Services about improving
Look at all of that
to the riverfront, or more.
Gonna stop it right there. Hold on. I want you to take a look at these shrubs.
Tweaks and improvements to restrict the easy access to that waterfront. And he says this will be in discussion as they work on the East Bank development. And they've already started discussions with.
Right there. This is why I keep saying you got to know how he got down there. When you see this photograph, this photo still, the guys pulling each other through, it's because it's rough terrain. So you got 3 people doing the tug of war to get that guy up. Those are trees. Those are branches. So where did he fall in? Because your fall would be halted by the trees and the branches, I would think. Stay woke, everybody. So you got to know which point of access he went into this area. Was it here? Was it somewhere where it had less of a clearing? That's why I'm trying to make myself understand. If I look at this right here, which part did he go in? Because his fall would have been stopped by tree branches, don't you think? Look at all those branches. So this is why I'm trying to understand where exactly did he go in, pushed in, dragged in, to make it to the bottom of the rocks, to lose his card, and then enter into the water. He had to have been attacked or robbed. The bank card being found alone, nothing else makes no sense.
Metro Water Services about improving the access to the riverfront, or more so making it safer for residents here, as well as other safety concerns like flooding, for example.
This is something that has the city's full attention every single day until we discover what happened here. We're always looking for making sure that our infrastructure can be safer, and that's been a top priority since I took office.
And for cases that involve the river and violent crime, he says they always look at crime holistically. He also mentioned the Safe Bar program and studying how the downtown environment plays into the overall safety of Nashville as well.
A lot of videos uploaded right now pertaining to this case. I'm just going through my library of videos I uploaded today. There's the Queen. Let me share a story with you for those who didn't watch this video last night. Welcome to the Vault XL. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ began to 129 Cash App, stickers, and chats. Welcome to the line. During the live, let me share something with you about a situation I encountered over a year ago when someone was left at the bar and nobody offered the young lady a ride, but I did. Let's hear that story.
Sure.
This is my Riley Strain story. Okay?
Yesterday, and it is not the body of Mr. Strain, and nor is it the body of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. I share this story with you because it is a true story, and maybe it will help someone who finds himself in this situation.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for
Or
joining.
hopefully, they will hear this story and won't ever be in this situation. I did a live to Facebook about a year or so ago pertaining to this story, and I do believe I mentioned it briefly on my channel a year ago. So you'd have to go back a little ways to catch the content, because I do believe I mentioned it. As most of you know, I used to go out a lot. I used to go to a bar in East Knoxville, hang out. If you go back into my library, you'll see videos of me out and about, having a good time, imbibing. The Queen lived it up. One night when I was out at this same little juke joint, a young lady was left behind at the bar. Now, she lived in Knoxville, on the other side of town. I lived way out of the area. And I was listening to her rant and rave about her ride leaving her. And there were a few people left in the bar at the time because the lights were on and everybody was, walking out. There was only a few of us left inside the bar. So the owner was there.
Yes,
the woman he dated, she was there. Probably a DJ, a few people there. So there were other eyewitnesses who heard her say she was stranded. And she was going on and on about why the girl left her, blah, blah, blah. So we're outside now. She's still talking about being left. She doesn't have a way home. So I asked her. I said, well, where do you live? She told me where she lives. And I thought, wow, she was way across town. So once again, there are people outside who can hear her say she's stranded. So, naturally, she's explaining how she got left. Well, she and this young lady had an altercation because she was still talking to someone at their car. And the girl was saying, hey, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. So the girl kept talking. So the ride left her there. Now, the ride was from out of town. The girl is from Knoxville, the ride, but she moved to North Carolina. At least she was Charlotte somewhere, North Carolina. Point being, they hooked up. She came to town. They hooked up. She brought this girl there. But at some point in the evening, she was ready to go. So she's angry that this girl is outside talking, because naturally she's drunk. She's drunk at a coup de brown. And she's telling her, hey, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. But the girl didn't listen. So the other girl left her. Okay? Long story short, I was not about to leave this girl who I've seen before. We were not friends. We were not best friends. I had been drinking myself. Naturally, I did not want to drive anybody across town for that very reason, because I lived way out in the middle of nowhere, and I was ready to go home. But I did the right thing. Pay close attention now. She and I were not friends. She lived on the opposite side of town. I lived way out in the county. I mean, way out. She lived in Northwest Knoxville. The bar was in East Knoxville. It would have been a while before she even made it home. Quick drive across town, naturally by car, but by foot. It would have been unsafe for her to walk. She was drunk. You know the rest. I told her I'd give her a ride. She moaned and bitched and cried, upset, disappointed, because she thought this girl was her friend. They've known each other for years. So she was disappointed, and I understand that. But this is what I told her. I said, what we do when we're inebriated is probably what we wouldn't do when we're sober. I said, so what you need to understand is that you were on somebody else's time, number one. Two, you toe up from the flow up. You're talking. She told you to get in the car. You should have gotten in the car. You didn't listen. And I understand you were trying to talk to this person, but you were on somebody else's time. Now, what she did was wrong by leaving her in the dark, outside, for her to fend for herself. And I'm sure they probably have never spoken again. Because, you know, she was wanting to really do something to her if she ever saw her again. And she even said that. She better bring her ass back to Knoxville because she already knows I'm going to put the word out about her. She'll never set her foot back in Knoxville. That's probably true. The point being is you have to know the people that the company that you're in. And I said it in the last live pertaining to Riley Strain, that you think you know people.
Exactly.
Okay? You think people are your friends.
Amen.
You think people have your back. And I'm assuming this young man thought he could get tore up, inebriated, whatever, have fun, because I'm in the company of friends. I'm in the company of frat brothers. They got my back, but they did not. And I get it. Men don't navigate like women. Women tend to have more of a buddy system when they are out having fun, bar hopping, so on and so forth. But that's the point of the story, is you gotta know who your friends are. You gotta know that if something jumps off, he or she has my back. And I get it. Some people can be belligerent, ignorant, they can bring trouble to themselves, and now you're there, you know, looking like a deer in headlights thinking, hey, I didn't sign up for this. I don't want to be fighting or bar brawling. I get all of that. This is why you have to know the company you are in.
Exactly.
I dropped that young lady off. She thanked me. She asked me to come in. You know, she wanted to offer me another drink. Naturally, I told her no. I forgot to drive. I have a long drive. I said, but you be safe. I said, the next time, drive your own car or get a more secure ride. And if you're riding with someone, if they tell you to get your black tail in their car, you need to do that. I said, because what if I had not have given you a ride? How are you going to get home? I said, it's dangerous out here.
Yeah.
You would have been right for the taking, trying to walk from East Knoxville to Northwest Knoxville in the dark. Anything could have happened to you.
Exactly.
You cannot play these type of games. You're calling people. Naturally, nobody's answering the phone. I said, you can never allow yourself to be in this situation.
Exactly.
And she agreed. And she was drunk. Yes, she was. And my message to you today is the obvious. You better know the company that you're keeping. When I first brought this story, started talking about this story pertaining to Riley Strain, I did not want to point fingers at anybody because I did not know the circumstances. I did not know what happened in the bar. But once I got information that one of his comrades walked down the stairs with him, common sense says you should have walked out with your friend Riley.
Exactly.
That's off the rip. You're his frat brother. You may not be his babysitter, his caretaker, but you saw the state that he was in. He was kicked out of that bar. You owed him that, if nothing else, to walk out with him. If you still wanted to party that night and bar hop with other fellas, whatever, all you had to do was make sure he got back to the hotel, and then you could have went back out.
Exactly.
And did your thing. See, we don't really know what the hell happened in that bar. And as I brought you information earlier pertaining to a profiler by the name of Pat Brown, she is also a YouTuber. No, not Pat Brown. Another young lady, I can't remember her name. Sorry about that. Thinking about Sebastian right now. This other profiler, she does a lot of commentary from News Nation, excuse me. She said she felt like something happened in the bar, that maybe he was disruptive. She said, because I can just believe they just threw him out just because he was drunk. And
this is my live from last night, late last night. Make this make sense, because something is missing here in this story pertaining to Mr. Strain. Something missing, okay? There would be no story had somebody watched their consumption of alcohol, number one, was in better company, walked out with their friends. It's not rocket science. They failed the man. And I get it. Some people say, well, he's grown, he knows better, woo, woo, but that's your friend, that's your frat brother. So you are a group. You're like brothers. So why not act like it? Because as this cop was saying on his YouTube channel, it's just a title, fraternity. It's not the spoken word, you see. It's just a title. That in the end, when some shit jump off, they're gonna get into a huddle like football and come up with a plan, devise a plan. Who's gonna say what, do what? And also play content from another guy whose brother died, had a heart condition, and he said all these people got together, huddling, trying to get their versions together, trying to cover up his death and everything, even though even though his brother had a heart condition, but still, he said the people were still conspiring to not, really be fully truthful about what went on that night when, I guess he fell out or whatever. That's a sad thing to have to say about a fraternity and people, because everybody is not the same. You don't want to judge this fraternity group versus this fraternity, or this sorority over here is like this sorority, because in the end, it's an individual choice to go along with bullshit. Nobody can force you to go along with something that you don't agree with. Now, I don't know how many guys were in the bar. Allegedly, it was a total of 8 to 10 total that took the trip. So that means just a handful at Loop 32 and then a handful at another bar. But when you decided to walk down those stairs, sir, whoever you are, you left your buddy to the wolves. I tried to weigh this very diplomatically as I could to be objective. So that's why I always waited till I got more information before I started pointing fingers at this one, that one. But that's your friend, that's your homeboy, that's your comrade, that's your frat brother. You should have left with them. Now we're getting information that he thought he had a tab. But he didn't have a tab. Then you told him, oh, well, we want you to leave because you're drunk. All this is weird to me. Why would he think he had a tab? Or was he paying for other people's drinks and don't remember? Or somebody was paying for his drink? So now you got to ask that question. Who paid for his one drink and 2 waters? Stay woke. I didn't hear that. Did he pay with cash, debit card, cash out, credit card, the one that they found at the damn river? Is that the card he used? Will we see that on a transaction? 1 drink and 2 waters from his bank bingo card. What is the real reason you put him out? He was sleeping, falling asleep, slumped over in a chair. He knocked a beer over, drink over, table over. He got too loud. He was cussing. He was talking disrespectful to the barmaid. Was he saying something out of the way to a young lady, another guy? Was he roughhousing, rough playing? Because you just don't get put out of a bar because you're drunk. You want me to believe nobody else in the bar was drunk? Please, miss me with this bullshit. Something happened in that damn bar. And nobody wants to tell what it is. Because now you're adding shit to the story. Luke 32. Oh, everything was fine, and we just asked him to leave. It's our protocol and blah, blah, blah. Our code of standards. Now he asking about a tab that don't exist. Help me understand. What are you all talking about? Because I'm confused. He had a tab. He didn't have a tab. Hey, I'm coming to pay my tab. So he had 1 drink on the tab that he didn't have a tab. This makes no sense. He got a tab, but he ain't got a tab. Who's out first? What are we playing? Baseball? See, I knew this was going to happen. I told somebody this is what's going to happen. You get ready to start getting different fucking versions and different stuff added to what happened in that damn bar, and it has already begun. Hey, Larry. I knew this was going to happen because Luke Ryan, his name is on this place. He has a lot to lose. Now you have the Alcohol Commission investigating to see if they overserved him. So there you have it. Cut it out, Larry. Something's not right here, okay? Because I got a funny feeling he may have drank more than 1 drink. And that would not surprise me. But don't lie about it. So as I said before, what did he drink at the other place? How many other places did they go to? Had they been drinking that day before they even got to a bar? Hell, did he eat food? Did he go out to dinner? Thousands of questions with no answers. There are no answers to this story. You're just getting bits and pieces of stuff, and it ain't looking good. It's looking really, really grim. Now, what's next? So what happened after he walked by the police officer and he spoke? You see, he seems like he was walking okay. He seemed like he was walking okay. So how long had he been walking at the moment that he saw the cop? How long had he been on foot at that moment? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, hour? What do we say? His phone pinging away from the bridge, was that Riley or somebody else? Where is his cell phone? Where is his Apple Watch? Have they been sold, or are they on his person and he's somewhere out here not yet found? Is he in the river? What's the truth? I don't know. Let's go to my YouTube page. Let's get some of these questions answered. That's on my YouTube community page. Thank you for joining me. Please take the polls. Feel free to comment below the post. Now they've got another video. Police asking everybody to look at their video surveillance cameras, just in case Riley has walked by your establishment. Did someone recently discard Riley Strain's bank card down that embankment? 18 hours ago. %, not sure. 69 votes. So some of you believe somebody put that card down there recently. How about that? Pinto says you think he's in the river. Okay. Daniel says, I don't understand why they're not offering footage. The bar, why are they holding on to it? Why are they saying overserved but unspecified issues, and which door was he put out of? Yes, because we got 3 versions of that. Back door was the first rumor I heard. Then I heard side door. Then I heard he was escorted out of the front with a security, and then his friend walked down with him. But the friend went back up. So did the friend go back to continue partying, or he went to settle his tab? And as I said, if that makes no sense to leave out of sight from the bar, because how did the bartender know that he wouldn't come back? You know, he might just walk with Riley. Hey, ma'am, I'm going to walk my friend to the door. I'll be right back. But who's to say he didn't walk out and run off, not pay his tab, the friend? So I wouldn't let you walk out. I said, no, sir, before you walk out of here or walk your friend downstairs, you got to pay your tab. So this leads me to believe the friend had no intention of calling Riley an Uber, Lyft, or anything. He carried his ass back upstairs to finish drinking. Because you got to remember, the night is early. We're talking about before 10 o'clock. That's early. See, you don't know how much drinking they had done. You don't know all the places they went to drink. And 10 o'clock is early. I personally don't like being in no bar at no damn 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's just quaint. I'm not no early riser. I don't like drinking early. That's something I don't really care for. Every blue moon, I might want to, sit here, have me a little toddy or whatever early. But I feel off kilt once I drink, if I start drinking early. It throws me off, it throws my equilibrium off for some reason because my body likes drinking later in the night. I like to take a shower, you know, get in my sleep clothes, get under the covers if I stay home, turn on me a good movie or a TV program, and, you know, drink my little drink. But even if I go to the bar or a club, I don't like being in there at no 9, 10 o'clock. That's not for me. Now, I'm not trying to be funny, but a lot of white people party early. They do. They go to bars early. Because I used to see people get off from work. They at that bar at 5:15, 5:20. Black folks, we coming in there late. Do you hear? No, we got to get up and go to work, but we falling in there late. Yes, 10 p.m. is early for some people. For some. See, everybody parties different. Some people like to go out and drink early. You know, some people like to party at 11, 12, you know, depending on what time the bar closes. You know, see, all that matters too. What time did this bar close? 2 o'clock, 2:30? But I speak for me. I can't speak for those kids. I like to go in later, even though you don't get much time to really mingle, but it takes me forever to get dressed. So I don't usually get to the club until like 12 o'clock. But these are young people. They're trying to get their day in, get their night in, so they started early. So you got to ask yourself, did they drink at the hotel? Did they buy liquor and took to how many drinks they had before they even started bar hopping? All that matters. So the family, you should want to know those things. You should want to know, did he eat? Does he normally drink on an empty stomach or a full stomach? Why would you not want to know those things? I don't understand. Please help me understand. Because this is bizarre to me. For anybody to say, I don't care what happened in the bar. We're not concerned with what happened in the bar. We just want to know what happened when he got outside of the bar. Huh? The bar is the reason he's wandering around. What are you saying? This is why sometimes they tell you why certain people don't need to talk. Certain people don't need to talk. So what time was that formal? Was that Saturday evening or was it Sunday? I'm curious because I heard no mention of what time that formal was. Thank you, Touch of Class. I appreciate that. Yeah, take the polls. This way you know what people think. 62% of you do believe that card was discarded recently. That is not good. That's not good at all. So who put it there? Who put the card there? Just say, who put the card there? Was he jumped after the cops saw him? He rolled down the embankment somehow over the fence, over the railing, and rolled down to the bottom. His card fell out, and then he fell in the water. And then he floated downward, down the stream, down into the river. What do we say? Because you got to know where he went in at. Because it's rocky. You got boulders of rocks that you could stand on like a ledge. So you got to know at what point that he went in and he didn't break his fall. Because there are different locations they've shown you in videos of ways you could have failed. But let me tell you about that from what I've seen. You wouldn't have been able to roll nowhere if you had fallen down onto a fucking rock. Your body gets hurt or punctured. You can't say the body was going to keep rolling into the water. This is why this story is bizarre to me. Because you see the different videos I've shown of a ledge here, a ledge there, bushes, trees. It would break your fall, would it not? So you got to prove he went in which way and rolled into the water. This is just crazy. You don't even know which entry point he got in because it's all broke up and made different. The ledges, the rocks, and you can't say that he couldn't have broke his falling down the rocks and stopped rolling. This is why the story is weird to me. I don't know where it's going. You doubt what? Hello, honey, Fabian. What do you doubt, Touch Your Class? All right, let me finish these posts. Ooh, sorry, I got so much information to bring to you. Last live I did, a commenter mentioned Riley's friends being involved, having knowledge of either nefarious or faux crime. Is this a faux crime? A fake disappearance? Say, well, 11% says yes, nefarious. 9% says yes, faux crime. 14% said no, nefarious. 6% says no on a faux crime. And 60% of you said you're not sure of either. Assessing all theories about Riley Strain. He fell into the river, 25%. He was robbed, discarded somewhere off the river, 62%. This is a faux disappearance and he's alive, 2%. Alive and wandering around incoherent, 1%. Not sure, 9%. So most of you think he was robbed, he's discarded somewhere, or he was thrown in the river. What if he's playing possum to teach his friends a lesson? Did that occur to anybody out there listening? That Riley's alive and he wanted to get back at his friends for abandoning him at that bar? Yes, 5%. No, 83%. 12% says you're not sure. Not to be grim, but imagine Riley's body is also found in the river. Could there be a connection to the body that was found today, which was yesterday? So is that body in the river connected to Riley Strain? Why would he disappear? Well, Pinto, why did Carly Russell do it? Why did Carly Russell pretend that she found a baby walking on the highway and said some white man kidnapped her and some woman? It was all a lie. Why did Papini go missing and had her ex-boyfriend hide her out? Because you're sick. Let me tell you what crossed my mind before I finish these posts. Let's go deep now. What if he's failing his courses at the university? Does that ever occur to any of you? He's supposed to graduate in May. What if he got behind? What if this trip was a plan? Because something is not right at school. He's mad at the world. He's angry. He's depressed. He's psychotic. He's schizophrenic. I don't know. Because it's been done before. And if you listen to that YouTuber that I put on my community page, he lays this out. That could this be a hoax? And he used Carly Russell as an example. And I'm glad he said that. Because when things start to not make sense, you start thinking of all types of things that could go bump in the night. Okay? So I don't know what's going on. Kidnapped, car pulled up, took him somewhere. But then you have to ask yourself that, now that I sit here and think about it. If he was kidnapped by car, how would the car get all the way down the embankment? Okay? So this is why I always say you have to work it out until it makes some type of sense. We now have to debunk kidnapping. Since they said, well, we don't have any more video footage of him, where could he be? Okay, so now we got to debunk that. Kidnapping, sex trafficking, because the card is at the embankment. And you're assuming wherever the card is, the owner's going to be somewhere nearby. Okay? So now we're debunking kidnapping, human trafficking. Throw her out. So that leaves beat up, jumped, and thrown over the rail. But you got to show where for him to be able to continue to roll all the way to the bottom. Okay? Okay. Well, bet. This is why I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying, sweetheart. We have video now to show that what you saw him running, when you saw him running, he fell, looks like he hurt himself, crossed the street, hand extended, talking on the phone. He was seen talking to a cop, upright and walking better. Say it again, Queen. After he fell, after he crossed the street, after you see his arm extended like he's talking on the phone, you later see him walking near the river on that top sidewalk by a cop who's working a crime scene of a truck broke into. And he asked Riley how he's doing, and Riley told him he's fine. How are you? And he's walking with stride. Now put that on paper. Well, touch of class. If they stole the card from the bar, how did it get way over there to the river? Who took it way over there and threw it over there? All the way down those rocks? It's too dangerous to even crawl down, walk down, slide down. You got to know how to get down there without breaking your neck. Stay woke. This is why I said nobody's listening. There's too many entry points to get down to the river. You could walk down that long path, go down. They've got barriers close to the river. So that means you would have jumped in or crawled over the barriers. Now at the top, which is the top level where he's at, how did he get down there? Because it's dark, you can't see. You've got ledges made of rocks. You could have easily killed yourself just falling over the damn rocks. That's why I don't understand why a lot of you think he made it in the river, only because your fall could break just falling over the rocks. You could have got punctured by a rock falling over. So that's why I'm trying to say, where did he enter for me to say he drowned? You understand what I'm saying? This is bizarre to me.
A young lady, I can't remember her name, sorry about that. Thinking about Sebastian right now. This other profiler, she does a lot of commentary for News Nation, excuse me. She said she felt like something happened in the bar, that maybe he was disruptive. She said, because I can't just believe they just threw him out just because he was drunk.
Yes, Danielle.
And I kind of agree with her because, as I said in my live earlier.
Very good point, Danielle. Are we talking about somebody who maybe has fallen in their grades? Do you know that he's a partier or a non-partier? Could it be he was messing up in school? He needed a way out. Family, friends will be disappointed. He didn't have all his courses in line to graduate in May. We have seen people go off their rocker when it's time to graduate. They have gone on shooting sprees, hurt faculty staff right before graduation. He's expected to graduate in May of this year. Just give you something to think about. Because I'm sure nobody's expecting to see that video of Riley walking by and talking to that police officer. Now, once again, he may have gotten hurt right after, that cop saw him. But you weren't expecting to see it. And that's the point of the story. You don't really know what the hell is going on here. We have a card found near the river, near trash. How, I don't really know. Two strange TikTokers come out of nowhere and find a card. You understand what I'm saying? A body floats up, happenstance, same day, not resembling Riley or Sebastian Rogers. And now we have video of him talking to a police officer. And he's not slumped over. He's not falling over. He allegedly is not bleeding, not bloody. Don't you think the cop would be watching him after looking at this truck broke into? He's going to look at everything. He's going to look at everything around him, the cop. Make it make sense. Is this a fake crime? And he's out here somewhere alive, trying to figure out a way to come back and resurface. I'm just saying. Or is he in the river, floated downward, miles down? I don't know.
I'm sure there were many people who were drunk in the bar at Loop 32. So what was so specific about this one person that they asked him to leave? Was he slurred speech, falling over himself, loud, hollering, screaming, falling asleep, sleep, touchy, feeling, what? I believe there's more to the story, and we're not really getting the truth.
Are we getting the truth to the Riley Strange story? Did the bar give an accurate account of what happened in the bar? Or was there more that happened in the bar? Was he touchy-feely, talking loud, disruptive, falling asleep, slumped over, knocking shit over? Hey, I want you out of here. What's the truth? Why didn't the friend leave with him? Now that Riley Strange's car has been found at the river, near the river, do you think he's alive? 6% yes, 85% no, 9% not sure. Did Riley throw the card down there? Lost it there himself, or he was discarded there and it fell out? Riley threw it there, 9%. Someone threw it down there, 53%. It fell out of his pocket while thrown down there by someone, 22%. Not sure, 16%. If someone threw Riley's card down the embankment and didn't use it, why throw it there? They didn't want to get caught. Scared of getting caught, 86%. Not sure, 14%. Did someone throw Riley's bank card down that embankment? 68% said yes, 15% said no, 18% not sure. 19 hours ago, I posted this. Riley's bank card was found today. So where is his phone, wallet, watch, and most importantly, where is he? I take a deep dive into every angle imaginable to determine what could have happened to him and how his card got down that embankment. Please take the poll where I ask any and every question possible. He's been missing since March 8th. No other sightings up until now, video released of him walking, striding along. Doesn't appear to be drunk or falling over himself. And this is after he fell and got up. And also looks like he's talking to somebody on the phone. What is going on with this case? Let's finish listening to the Queen on her live stream from last night. My Riley Strange story. I did the right thing. This is me helping someone who was also left at a bar a year ago and nobody gave the young lady a ride. Feel free to go back and watch that video. Listen to it at your convenience. Uploaded 17 hours ago. Thank you for joining me.
And that's the whole point. They have too much to lose.
Yes, they'll have Prince.
They have too much to lose.
Yeah, they'll say that.
And as you know, the Alcohol Commission is also involved in investigating to see if he was overserved. I brought you information that the Godfather said he was there for 1 hour and 45 minutes with his group. Some were there and some were at another bar. And as I said in the live earlier, I refuse to believe that he only drank one drink in almost a 2-hour span. Come on now.
Did he drink but one drink? At Luke 32. Because now you're telling us he was trying to settle his tab that didn't exist. And you said, oh, I want you out of here. So was he coming back to order a drink? You realized he was inebriated. And you said, sir, you don't have a tab, but you need to remove yourself because you're drunk. Something just don't sound right about this damn conversation to me. How is it he don't know he don't have a damn tab? Oh, okay, he was drunk. So we're going to give him that. He's drunk. He don't remember nothing. He doesn't remember he don't have a tab. So what, you swiped the card one time, gave him a receipt, or he gave you cash for the first drink and waters, and then somehow he thought he owed you money? Please, I'm confused. See, I knew there's some bullshit here. To me, if I'm wrong, I'll own it. But this ain't the version you gave us the other day. So why are you now telling us days later he thought he had a tab? What the hell happened in the bar? Because it's the bar that's got us this bullshit. Yes. And whose prints are going to be on the card? Bingo card.
You almost 2 hours and you only had one drink and 2 waters? I don't believe that. I think he had more than one drink. I won't doubt he had more drinks before he got to Luke 32. And that's why he was probably plastered and asked to leave. Whether you are 22 or you're my age, 53, you need to know your consumption. You need to know how much alcohol you can stand to drink and what's going to make you buzz versus what's going to make you toe up. And you need to know the company you're, because he probably thought, I'm not driving. I'm with my friends, my frat brothers. They've got my back. I can get being drunk. But as you see, it is now Monday, a new day, new week, and Riley Strain has not been seen. He has not been found alive or deceased. And no matter how you weigh the story, no matter your perception of life, your perception of responsibility, your perception of friendship, he was failed on that fateful night. No one in the street helped. No one in the street said, hey, sir, can I help you? The friend went back up the stairs allegedly. Don't know how long he stayed in the bar. I've got a funky feeling that Riley was upset when he walked out of that bar. I won't doubt that he possibly waited and nobody came back down in a timely fashion, so he took off angry through the city. He's seen on camera wandering around, also running, which is also suspicious. Falls. Many of us believe he hit his head. You see him holding his hand up to his head and looking at his hand. At one point, it looks like he's also holding his hand out like he's talking on the phone, video chatting. It's baffling. But now you have this new information about a car found by a complete stranger a week later. And you have so many questions with no answers. Then you have a body floating in the damn river, but it's not him. This is a very bizarre story coming out of Nashville, Tennessee. As I said before, know the company that you're in.
Know the company that you're in. Know your friends. Know who has your back. Know that somebody will hold you up in a given circumstance. Danielle says, I'm curious as to how much money he has in the account. Did he get money out enough to survive on? Did he drain the account? Curious to that too. If he randomly took off, most likely he needs funds. Exactly. So now you got to ask yourself, was this pre-planned? Riley's alive, perhaps. He's out here somewhere waiting on the moment to resurface and how to resurface. So did he take cash with him for this moment? What's this pre-planned? The trip, the going in the bar, acting drunk. What if you found out he wasn't really drunk? See, I asked the questions that most people are afraid to ask. I waited until I got all the information, and then I went into the belly of the beast because something's off here. And it's not to say that this is a hoax. This is not to say he's alive. It's not to say he's unalive, but there's something off because now you're getting different stories pertaining to what happened in the bar. And if we're going to start now adding stuff to what happened in the bar, that leads me to go way down the rabbit hole and come back up. Because then that means you don't know what you're hearing. And I don't have to believe anybody in the story. Why should I? Take the poll, everybody. Let's see what your thoughts are about the friend going back into the bar. Did he go back? 75% said yes, 25% not sure. Wow, 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 that's bad. Who else wants to take that poll? I've got almost 100 people viewing and 16 votes. Take the poll, everybody. Let's finish hearing the queen.
Because one thing I've learned, and I speak from personal experience, what you will do for a person, they won't do for you. And I can say this from experience. And I can think of 2 experiences where I know, had that been me out there, I would have been trying to figure out how I was going to get from point A to point B, and it would not have been good. I've given a person a ride somewhere to a function. They were pissy drunk, you know? And I know that right now, if I was to want to go somewhere and ask that person to pick me up right now, to say, hey, I want to go out, can you give me a ride? I don't want to drive, or whatever the situation is, they wouldn't do it. But I've done it for them. You understand what I'm saying? Same scenario. Pick up this person on one side of town, and I'm coming from a whole different jurisdiction to pick you up to go to a party. We drive to a whole nother city to go to a party. They're pissy drunk, throwing stuff out the window, disrespectful. I'm letting them know, hey,
true
you don't
story.
do that.
True story.
Pick that cup up. They didn't want to pick it up. So they're letting me know what they were made of.
And I will never put this person back in my car to go anywhere, because when you're this disrespectful, you're showing me what you're made of. This is why I keep trying to tell you, everybody's not your friend. Because I could ride this person around in my car, they're throwing shit out the window, disrespecting the place I've taken them. You don't do that. But right now, if I wanted to go out and say, I didn't drive or I don't have a car, would they come get me? Hell no. Because they like to drink heavily. Okay? They would not do what I've done for them. This is why I keep trying to tell you, you need to know the people you are talking to and dealing with, because you have people out here who, they take advantage of the situation. They get pissy drunk. They would not pick you up, take you nowhere. Frankly, I wouldn't be safe in their car driving any damn way. So really, they're doing me a favor. But just speaking in general terms. You live in this town, they live in that town. But are they going to come to this town to pick me up, to take me to the bar or the club? Hell no, they ain't. Hell no. If Riley's alive today, the one thing he knows is, and this is not a fake crime, let's say, he ain't got no damn friends, or the friend he thought he had, let's say that. Because that was wrong to leave him behind in that bar. All right, we're going to end this poll. 63% of you said the friend did go back upstairs to drink. 64% back and forth. 8% no, 28% not sure. All right. How long do you all think they stayed behind in the bar? Bingo card. Why do you think they haven't spoken? This is why I keep telling people you got to pay attention to the information. You don't find it strange that his friends have not publicly spoken about that night? Why not? That's your friend. Your friend's missing. You don't have anything to say to Inside Edition, Gail King, nobody? Is there anybody out there listening? Your friend is missing. And you haven't even come talk to the news about your friend. Not one frat brother has gave a formal interview to the news. Good Morning America, nobody. Because you don't want nobody asking you, why'd you leave your friend? What time did you leave the bar that night? You said you looked for him for 9 hours, bingo card, because you didn't. You called at 1:46 p.m. Who the hell does that? Exactly, Danielle. Silence is golden. Amen. What I told somebody earlier today, if you don't answer to the questions, eventually the shit'll go away, won't it? Such as with famous people when shit jump off and everybody come out with microphones. What happened? What happened? I heard your husband was having an affair. You don't respond. Because when you start responding, they keep coming back asking questions. So they know the game. You start talking about what happened in that bar, they'll never stop. And they're going to ask you, well, where's your loyalty? That's your friend. He got kicked out. You all should have left. But you got to ask, where was everybody at in the bar? Over here, over there, upstairs, downstairs? I don't know. But I know one person allegedly walked down with them, and you do look like the bad guy right now because you had knowledge. See, you had knowledge that he was asked to leave. You walked down with him, which is strange to me. And then you walked back up to do what exactly? Pay your tab? That don't sound right, because you should have paid your tab when they told you, hey, your homeboy got to go. All for one and one for all, right? Oh, you kicking him out? Well, you kicking us out too. We can go to any bar. A bar is a bar. You just going to drink, dance, listen to music, eat. You can do that anywhere. And then it's early. Oh, you kicking my homeboy out? Fuck it. We'll go somewhere else. How long did the frat brothers stay behind after Riley got kicked out? Did they directly come back down and saw he was not outside? What's the truth? Just saying, what is the truth? Do you all believe they looked for him for 9 hours? Because you know I don't believe that. You called the police at 1:46 p.m. that Saturday, and you want me to believe you went after bar hopping to look for your friend for 9 hours. This is why I know that somebody's lying in this story. Because there's no way I believe you looked for Riley Strain for 9 hours. Look for him where? On Snapchat, IG, Google? You walked the streets of Nashville for 9 hours? You caught an Uber, a Lyft for 9 hours? You caught a cab, drove around for 9 hours. Make me understand what the hell you're saying. Or take the party back to the hotel. Exactly. Exactly. They probably had booze there. That's my damn point. You don't know when them boys got up and started drinking. You don't know if they bought booze on the trip, if they flew, if they drove. Bought liquor to the hotel, got a mini bar that they're paying for from the room. That's my point. Because you don't know them. So if you got men who are not even talking about their friend to the news, You're getting different versions added on to the story days later from what Luke 32 has to say. Then why am I going to believe the friends? And why am I going to believe the representative for the bar? So then the next person left in the story is Riley Strain. What's the truth to this child wandering around the streets?
Did I take this person all the way back to where they lived? Did I drove all the way back to where I lived? That's the kind of person I am. But you see, you don't get back what you give. And this is why, like I said, you have to know the company you keep. You have to know who you can depend on and who you cannot. And I'm that real, genuine person that won't mind giving a person a ride, even when I know I really shouldn't be on the highway going out of my way in the dark, taking somebody somewhere else. And I've also had a few drinks myself. But I know not to get plastered drunk, because sometimes what you think is drunk, that ain't going to be, what it's going to register. You may think, oh, I'm just buzzed, but legally you are drunk. But you don't know that. And this is why you're not supposed to be driving and drinking. Now imagine this young boy, he's walking and drinking, and now we don't even know where he is. I'm up late, need to be asleep, but I decided to share this story with you to show you that there are some people out here, such as myself, who do the right thing and they give a person a ride because they know if I don't give this person a ride, they're stranded out here in the dark and they're inebriated. And I thought about this story because of Riley. I thought of this story. I thought, dang, wait a minute, Queen. You just did this story. You just did this favor for somebody a year ago when they were left at the bar. And people heard the girl say she was stranded and nobody offered a ride. Not one person said to her, hey, honey, where do you live?
Tempo.
I'll give you a ride home. Only Queen offered. And I can tell you right now, I couldn't have got that same ride had I been stranded or car didn't start. First thing the person would have said, well, you live too far. You could spend the night at my house, maybe. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you never get back what you offer. This is a lesson learned, this story about Riley Strain.
Take the poll, everybody.
It's a valuable lesson. That you better know the company you keep. Don't ever assume somebody has your back. Because he was failed. As I said, I tried to be objective, not point the fingers in the beginning, but as new information comes out, and hearing that somebody walked him down that was his friend, it makes no sense for us to be even talking about this story. And a friend walked down the stairs with security, but then went back up. And none of those guys have spoken publicly. And you don't find that strange? This is your fucking friend. He is missing, possibly deceased. God knows, nobody knows where he is. And you won't even do a full interview to say, this is what we did today. This was his temperament today. This is where we went that Friday night. I drank this, he drank that, blah, blah, blah. This is what happened in the bar. I walked him down. I told him I was going to do this or be there in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I went back to pay a tab. I hung anyway. Tell the truth. Because it's got to be eating you up knowing you didn't walk out that damn bar with your friend. And now he's missing. Still going into day 10. Okay? And his bank card has been found near a river. And my head is circling trying to figure out how that card got down there. And just out of the blue, a whole body is floating in the damn water, but it ain't him. What are the odds? You better know your friends. you better know that the people who you talk to and you deal with, they have your back. Because I would hate to hear this story again by another human being, whether they are 22, they are 32, or they're my age, 53. Because you know it is not right to leave a person in the damn dark nowhere, whether they have been drinking or not. The only time I can see you leaving a person in the dark or daylight is if they had become violent with you. Then hell yeah, drive off.
Let's stop right there. 28 people have voted. After seeing Riley talking to the police, the video has been released. Is he alive? 25% says yes. 39% no. 36% not sure. Who else wants to take the poll before I turn it off? 93 people in the room. Come on, you guys, take the poll. Thank you, Life. Thank you, Life. Thank you. Wonder if he was sharing a room. Yes, he was sharing a room. Oh, you didn't hear that? The guy says, oh, we got back. I thought he was in somebody else's room. Well, why would you think he's in somebody else's room? Because you didn't see him. I asked that question the other day. Did they all have their own room or they shared a room with double beds? You know damn well it would be cheaper to get a room with double beds. So you knew he wasn't back. You knew he wasn't answering his phone. You knew he wasn't in that fucking room. So who was the roommate? See, this is bad. At some point, yes, everybody is to blame. Riley drank too much. You left him there and didn't go out with him. Probably didn't come right out to look for him, like you say. We got separated. That don't even sound right. Now the bar people are adding new shit to the story. Oh, he came up and thought he had a tab, but I told him he didn't have a tab. Oh, but I want you out of here. That don't make no sense. Don't y'all see there's something off here? There's something strange going on, and I smell bullshit. Whether this boy is alive, dead, it's a hoax, somebody in the story is lying. That's what I got to say about that. And I'm going to start with the first two. The people at the bar not telling the truth, and the friends aren't telling the damn truth. 36 votes. Is he alive? 39% says no. Let's end that poll. Okay. Hagen says tempo is too expensive not to share. I figured it was. Wonder if he was sharing a room. Yes, well, that's what I said. He's more than likely they shared a room. So you're now showing us you knew your friend never made it back. So where the hell you thought he was if he got kicked out of the bar? Still bar hopping? Come on. You can't call him. He's not calling you. The pings that go past the bridge, was that Riley Strain or somebody else? What new version are we going to hear from the bar? Are you not going to tell us he was disruptive? He was loud, belligerent, fighting, fussing, a brawl? What? What are you going to tell us? Because I smell another version coming or something added on. Because now you're adding stuff to the story that don't really make any sense. You could have told us that days ago. Oh, by the way, he came up, he thought he had a tab, I told him he didn't, and I made a sound decision to tell him to leave because he was drunk. You didn't tell us that. You said you followed protocol, a standard, blah, 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 and asked him to leave. You said nothing about no tab, him asking about a tab, and I'm trying to figure out why would he be asking about a tab? He ain't back with one drink and some water. So, I mean, I don't understand. Sammy says, I bet he did have a tab. Well, let's ask that question to the audience. Thanks for posting that, sweetheart. Did Riley Strain have a tab? The bar now says he did not. He came up to the bar, and that's when they told him they wanted him out of there. So let's dissect this for a minute to try to make it make some sense. He's having a good time. He comes up to the bar. He asks, do I have a tab? This is something about this just don't make no sense. So why would he be asking you, does he have a tab? He's been in this bar an hour and 45 minutes, says his godfather. Probably the version that one of the boys gave. And now he's asking, do I have a tab? Why would I go up and ask somebody, even in my drunkest moment, I don't think I'd go ask that unless I knew I had one. I don't understand what the fuck's going on here. Somebody is making up some shit. And I'm telling you, you guys, you trying to hold on to that fraternity and that name, you're making a fool out yourself. Because I got a funky feeling somebody gonna tell the story, because I know most people cannot hold water. You are gonna fuck up and tell somebody what really happened that night, and they're gonna tell it. They're gonna sell that story to the Daily Mail or the Sun, and all y'all asses are gonna be on blast that was in that damn bar with him. Yes, 17%. Well, 23. Well, y'all going up and down. 57% says no, he didn't have no tab. Wow, okay. 21%, 14 votes out of almost 100 people watching. Come on, you guys. Bet the bar and Luke has lowered up. Probably so. He had a tab, Queen. The bar is just covering their tracks over serving, probably so. They tore it up, he did. Bank drop at the closing. Well, and guess what? His bank statements is gonna tell the truth. Ding, ding, ding. Ain't nobody. Hey, you could doctor all the paperwork you want, baby. Luke 32. That damn bank ain't gonna lie. Bingo card. What does his bank statement say? Pertaining to his bank card, pertaining to the tabs, and money spent on that Friday, March 8th. Amen. Well, TZ, new information is saying, the bar is now saying he didn't have a tab. He went to ask about his tab, and they told him no, and then they told him he needed to get out. Something about the sequence of this makes no sense to me. You didn't tell us this days ago about a tab conversation. You said we saw that he was drunk, we asked him to leave. Security walked him out, his friend went out, and then the friend came back up. Why are you now telling us this shit about a tab? You could have told us that days ago. Somebody's lying. Whenever people start adding extra shit to the story, it's because somebody's covering their ass. That's what the fuck's going on here. Excuse my language. Danielle says, I'm curious as to the bar covering themselves switched the order, like maybe someone else ordered a beer and 2 waters. He was throwing it back. Bank statements will show the truth. They most definitely will. 55% of you do not believe he had a tab. 22% not sure. 23%, 26% now says yes. Y'all are all over the place. I just think it's interesting that this is new information that should have been mentioned days ago. See, as they say in the street, the truth needs no explanation. You tell the truth one time, and that's it. You repeat it again, you repeat it the same way. It's only a lie when you change the version. So you're going from, I told him to leave, to now he came and asked about a tab. I told him he ain't got one. I told him to leave. This don't make no sense to me. You don't get drunk on one beer unless you're bar hopping. Well, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know why he would have a tab if he only bought one drink. So this is why I'm trying to understand where the bar is coming from. Because you said he only had one drink and 2 waters. So he doesn't need a tab. I would assume he'd bought the drink either with cash or his card. You give him his receipt back from the card. He puts the card back in his pocket. He don't need to leave his card with you. And we know he didn't leave the card with you because his card is found at the river. So we know he didn't leave the card behind. Did he use that card for this alleged 1 drink and 2 waters? Or did somebody else buy him a drink? What is really the truth? Because I smell some lies here. We're going to get off this pole of the tab. Most of you believe he did not have a tab. Very interesting. Let's see what y'all saying down here. How would he not know if he had a tab? That doesn't make sense. Yep, hey, Brooke, that's what we're talking about. Here's a random thought. They had a joint tab. Is that possible? You have a group of people and everyone goes in on the same tab. I've only purchased 2 drinks and gone home. I don't know. I don't know how that would work, Danielle, if they would do that. Now, they do that at restaurants that have what they call a gratuity. I learned that the hard way after my mother died. Everybody's sitting at the table eating pizza, and we've got to pay a certain bill, more on the bill just because they put the tables together. So, you know, somebody probably paid with cash, somebody probably paid with a debit card, but when you get up to the register, everybody got to pay a portion on the bill, you know, for the food. High-ass bill at that. And I told them people there, I says, I'm not going to sit here and pay for food I didn't eat. I was in my feelings. I was like, I didn't even eat anything. You got this high-ass bill and you want us to pay. Oh, it's a gratuity bill. I said, well, I don't know nothing about it. I'll never do that again. I will never do that again. Because I thought I was paying for my own food I ordered. I didn't know we're all paying just because the tables were pushed together. It's crazy. You live and you learn. That's why you always got to ask questions.
You're chilling and hanging with them at a bar. They haven't asked to leave. As one guy said in the comment section,
thank you for joining me.
You throw him out, you're throwing me out. I'm going with him. Exactly.
Yeah.
Where is Riley String? Where is the Apple Watch? Where is his wallet? Where are his other belongings? Where is his phone? Make it make sense. Please watch my last live. I go into the belly of the beast dissecting what happened to him, because now the plot thickens, because you don't have a body and you've got to try to figure out how the hell that card got down there. What?
T, where did you hear that the stepdad said he paid his tab? Where did you hear that the dad said he paid his tab? This is crazy. Because how is he paying a tab? Now the bar is saying he didn't have a tab. But somebody's lying. So Luke 32, I'm Queen from Tennessee. Did he have a tab or he didn't have a tab? Please help me understand. That's what we want to know. A news interview, okay. So the father's saying he had a tab. One of the fathers saying he had a tab. So he had a tab or he didn't have a tab? Because they probably already called the bank. Okay? And you should know that they're going to release the bank statements eventually to show us what he bought and purchased with his bank card on that Friday. So if you are lying, best you stop, because it's not going to help you. It's not going to help Mr. Luke. It's not going to help the manager of the bar. It's not going to help the bartenders. Just tell the truth. He had a tab. He didn't have a tab. He ordered 5 drinks, 6 drinks, 1 drink, 2 beers. Just tell it and be done with it. Sammy says, for those of you who say he's a lie, why would he do this to his mother? He's a mama's boy. He speaks to her daily, multiple times a day. She says, Sammy Nicole, please don't do this. Don't do this. Sammy, if you watch YouTube and you watch true crime, are you really going to ask that question? I'm not here to say it's true because I don't know what happened. But the point we're making is shit ain't adding up. Shit ain't adding up. And when you ask that question about Riley, you need to ask that question about all the other people who have exacted a faux crime of being assaulted, sexually assaulted, raped, kidnapped. It has happened by many people for whatever reason. They felt the need to lie on imaginary people that did not exist because they have something wrong with them. And then 2, people lie to cover up other things. So you don't know Riley's strength. You don't know what's going on with him. It doesn't matter that he has a nice mother, a nice father. He's going to school. He's getting a degree. It doesn't mean anything. That's just what they're telling you. He's getting ready to graduate. He's doing well. I also wondered if he was offered a job from a company. I heard something about an internship or something. So you see, you don't really know. You're judging things from his mother talking. That's not Riley Strang. His mother has nothing to do with this. His father has nothing to do with it. Stepfather, stepmother, that has nothing to do with Riley Strang. You don't know him. Just like those friends leaving him. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind you asking. You have a right to say, why would he do this? But then what I always try to make people understand is if you're going to ask that about Riley Strang, what about all the other crimes you see out here? Why are people killing their children? Why are people abusing their children? Why are people plotting to kill their wives or husbands? Why are people killing them for insurance money? Because they can. They don't need a reason. Because that's what we do. We judge people by how they look. Just like that Olivia girl was talking about him in her podcast, and some of the stuff she was saying was weird to me. Because you're judging him on aesthetics, but you don't know him. Oh, he looks like he could be my brother. He seems really, really nice and blah, blah, blah. How do you know that? How do you know he's really, really nice? Just because somebody got on TV and said, he's a nice kid and he thinks of others, and that's somebody's version. That don't mean there's not somebody out here who has something not so nice to say about him. And I'm not here to say he's a bad person, but what I'm saying is everything's about perception. Because we have seen people come out and say, oh, she was such a great girl and I liked her and we worked well together and they worked at the church and they did this and blah, blah, blah. And then one day you're seeing a story such as a fake kidnapping. And then you're saying, well, wait a minute. She wouldn't lie. She's not that kind of lady. Oh no, she works with the church and she works with this. She's a teacher. She's, whatever they do. And then somebody else will come along and he or she will have a version a whole lot different than this version over here. As you saw with the Papini case. When they started talking about Mrs. Papini, the whole story started to unfold that she was a fraud. that she lied a lot. She was caught in her lies, but people still dealt with her, befriended her, had a whole husband, had children. And she's the worst of the kind because you don't know who you're talking to and who you're dealing with. You see, a liar is way worse than a thief, honey. Because a liar, it might take you years before you find out you've been dealing with a liar. Stay woke. Thief steals from you, boom, you know, up, don't leave nothing around, don't fool her no more. But the liar, you don't know what's going on with them to say they're a liar until you catch them in the lie. Carly Russell, same thing. I won't doubt she had been lying for years. And her parents tolerated it. And perhaps they groomed her to be a liar. Maybe she was spoiled. I don't know. Maybe she was disobedient as a child. I don't know. But she didn't wake up, you know, at 25, 26, however old she was, started lying.
Is it down there? Fell out of his pocket. Why would he be down there? Pushed down there, thrown down there. Then where's the body? Somebody found the card somewhere, realized they didn't want to use it so it wouldn't get caught. They threw it down there. Then where did they find it from? Where did they get it from? Somebody pushed him down there, fighting, fussing, tussling, weighted him down. It's a matter of time of his body floating up. What are we saying here? This is a baffling story. And the gist of the story is this could have been avoided had that friend or anybody else that knew that he was kicked out left with him. Thank you for joining me. You have been listening to the Vol XL.
All right, everybody, that's my last live from last night. Feel free to go back in to play the content. There's new developments pertaining to Riley Strain. The police department and rescue agencies and whomever, people on foot, are still looking for him in Nashville, Tennessee. A debit card was found yesterday near the river with his name on it, verified to be his card. A body also surfaced, but it is not his body, and nor is it Sebastian Rogers, allegedly. He still has not been located or found. Where he is, I do not know, but this is a very scary, scary situation because you don't really know what to think at this point. You also have new information from the bar saying he asked, did he have a tab? They told him no, and then they proceeded to ask him to leave the bar, which is very suspicious and strange sequences to me. I don't really know what the hell is going on, but I got a feeling that somebody is lying, and I think we're going to start with Luke 32. They have a lot to lose, and when people have a lot to lose, they lie, they cover up, they deceive. This man is well off. His name is on the bar. He has a lot to lose. The Alcohol Commission is involved. He has a lot to lose. Everyone has their own theory of what they think happened, but so far there is no validity to anything, just that he's missing. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's alive, if he's deceased. But I do know something is off with the story. And it all started at Luke 32. So if you want to get the gist of a story, you start at the beginning, not the end, not the middle. The parents want to start at the middle, that's their prerogative. But you're not going to get the truth. And in the end, the truth is about somebody's version, somebody's perception. So right now, you have random people spinning shit to you. He said and she said, and oh, I saw a shirt and it had vomit on it, and the homeless man had dirty pants on, and I found the card, and you see what the fuck I'm talking about? And he did this, and he said this, and I told him he needed to leave, and I had the security walk him out, and his friend went with him. Then the friend went back upstairs, and they ain't talking no more. And they ain't telling you when the fuck they left the damn place. They ain't telling you when they got back. Then they tell you they searched 9 hours, which you know that's not true. You didn't call until 1:46 p.m. That don't make no damn sense. Stay woke. Then you see him on video now, walking Fine. So what happened? Where is his watch? Where is his wallet? Where is Riley? Make it make sense. Why would a person roam around the city lost to only be seen on video walking upright and appearing more stable? Make it make sense. What's that time frame like? From talking to the friend on the phone to when you saw him with the police officer? Because this is getting real strange. Then you got to figure out how he got in the water if you want to believe he drowned. Long strip of ways to enter the river. But if a person wants to kill himself or off themselves, they ain't falling over no rail at the top where the sidewalk is. I'm going to go down closer to the water. Would that make sense? Jump over the rail. Why would I want to jump all the way from the top on top of rocks? That don't make no sense. So then you got to say, well, was he attacked up there after the cops saw him? Maybe. But you're still falling over rocks. And wouldn't the rocks break your fall, perhaps? Just saying, depending on where you enter and fell over. Push, shove, I'm just saying. Where's the watch? Where's the phone? Sold, pawned, put into a machine at Walmart, what? See, I ask all the questions because that's what you're supposed to do. Make it make sense. What's next on the video to be released about Riley Strain? His parents have met with police today. There is something new they wanted to show them. I cannot wait to see what in God's name they have found, because this story is getting more wicked by the minute. I don't know what else is going on, but it's very scary. We're going to play this one more time, and then I'm out of here. News Nation is the source. We're going to video of him walking by the cop. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Hold on one second. Hello. Thank you all. Thank you for joining me. 2 hours in.
Brand new video just into us now. This is from the police in Nashville on the night that Riley Strain disappeared, that missing Missouri student. News Nation's Caitlin Becker covering the story, joins me now here in New York. All right, so that's new video that's in. What can you tell us about it?
You know, Connell, with this video, I think the important part is not necessarily what we see, but what we don't see.
Thank you, Sammy
and
Nicole.
We can take a look at a little bit more of that right now. So you're seeing this here. This is body cam footage from an officer who is there looking at a potential car. Riley Strain, who's just kind of walking by, and it's very cordial. That's Riley Strain right there. They just do a quick back and forth. Hey, how's it going? What's important here is that he's not stumbling.
Exactly. Play it again.
Right. Now, he interacts with Riley Strain, who is just kind of walking by, and it's very cordial. That's Riley Strain right there. They just do a quick back and forth. Hey, how's it going? What's important here is that he's not stumbling. He doesn't seem visibly intoxicated, or certainly as visibly intoxicated as he did in previous surveillance video, which was just from a few minutes before, which we've seen. And the officer said he didn't seem in distress. Here's that surveillance video. He can't even keep his head up straight. So I don't know if it was the presence of an officer, which may sober any of us up, but he didn't seem in distress. He didn't ask for directions.
Exactly.
He didn't approach the officer for help. So that, I think, is very telling and a little bit concerning. I don't know what that necessarily means for the continuing investigation there, because he did have an opportunity to talk to an officer and get help, but it was just very,
now, the timestamp, the timestamp on this is close then, you're saying? So
this is very, very close. So what you're seeing in that sort of stumbling video is him after he had gotten kicked out of a bar for being too intoxicated.
Yeah, we saw that last week.
We saw that last week. And so that happened about 9:35-ish, 9:40-ish, and then beyond 9:52, which is that sort of last sighting that we just see, we don't have any idea where he went. The other piece that just came out this weekend, Connell, is that Riley Strain's bank card was found in a river embankment right around this area. And last week we know that PD said that they were searching that river embankment. So that is another kind of crucial piece that has been picked up.
So that's where we are right now in the investigation with the bank card, and we have this video. And that's really all, that's what they're going.
That's really what they're going off of. I mean, we don't have updates whether or not his cell phone locations have come back yet. He did try to make a phone call around 10 p.m., but beyond that, we really don't know. And his family obviously really does want answers. They're actually going to be on Banfield tonight speaking to our Ashley Banfield, and investigators did say that they met with detectives today. They were shown footage, so they might have some updates from their end about where this investigation is, but it does seem like he kind of vanished into thin air. But
he had an Apple Watch, I saw, but that it wasn't set up or something.
I don't know if they have that info back quite yet, but they have that Apple Watch. But we have a kind of a locator with this video and where the bank card was. It concerns me that it's on a riverbank, and that we did see him intoxicated, so I don't know if that might be the next turn. But officers and investigators have said no foul play is suspected, and they are still treating this as a missing person.
All right, Caitlin, thanks for walking us through all of that. Obviously, we'll stay on top of this. And to Caitlin's point tonight, tune in to Banfield, because Riley Strain's family will be joining Ashley. That's 10 p.m. Eastern here on News Nation.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to
10 o'clock tonight, Banfield. All right. I'm not going to hold you all. I'm 2.5 hours in. I want to thank you all for joining me. 90 people in the room. Thank you so much. Take the polls on my community page. I don't know where this case is. This is a bizarre, bizarre case. You're entitled to believe whatever you want pertaining to Riley Strain. You entitled to believe he was drugged. You entitled to believe he had a tab, didn't have a tab. You entitled to believe he was actually drunk in the bar. You entitled to believe whatever. But I'm a realist, and I go by what's been said. I go by what's not said. I also go by changing of stories and versions and adding stuff to a story. And whenever I get a story and they start adding stuff after they've spoken publicly, then I have a problem. And that usually tells me that you're lying and you're covering up something. And before all this was said this week, I already knew there was going to be smoke in the city because a famous person owns the bar. There's also been allegations of women being roofied there before, which is not good. We have an alcohol commission now investigating to see if the young man was overserved. So you start putting the pieces together and you realize, if you're paying attention, that something is off here. And when you start chopping everything up, because see, you have to put everything in its own separate box, compartments. It's off. It's too off. And that debit card being found is very weird to me. Two random people finding a debit card. And it's not to say that the police didn't miss it. They missed it. The searchers came, they missed it. We had Knoxville there as well. Knoxville Rescue Squad was there. All these random people in Nashville on that embankment. And you got to say, well, how'd they miss it? Especially if it's right close to the water. Oh, how far close are we talking? Close to the water, a little ways up. What's a little ways up? A yard, a foot? See, you don't know because you're getting different angles of where she says she found the damn card. And then you got to ask yourself, too, when was the card there? Fell out of his pocket? Somebody put it down there, threw it down there. See, you don't really know what to think. Why is the bar telling us this nonsense? Hey, Tay, you late, girl. Why are we just now hearing about the tab? You should have been told us about the tab days ago. That's all you had to do. Tay said she took the car. Well, where was she taking the car from, Tay? Yeah, cornbread, it is odd. So I'm watching them talk. The two girls, the TikTokers, I'm watching that other white girl talk. who's starting to cry. And I'm trying to get an understanding of who these people are and their role. Because you got to remember something about true crime. You get some busy bees in there as well, such as what you see play out on YouTube. You know, messy creators, messy people in the chat, people making up stuff about the story. We've seen a lot of that play out, and I saw a lot of that with the West Boys case in California and Summer Wells case here. You don't really know who you're talking to. You really don't know who's behind the iPad, cell phone, computer, bringing you the content, such as what I'm doing here. Okay? Because you got people who will fabricate information for likes and views. And I'm saying that because my spirit is telling me maybe there's more to the story. It's just a matter of waiting for everything to unfold. I'm not here to bring any allegations against anybody. All I'm telling you is pay attention to the details. There's something off. And usually when there's something off, it's because something is not truthful about the story. It doesn't mean that that young man is not hurt or deceased. Could be. But the people spinning the story, let's just say that, they're not being truthful, I don't think. The bar's not being truthful. The friends aren't being truthful. And the friends are the ones who left them, number one. The friends are lying about going to search for him for 9 hours. You know damn well nobody looked for nobody no damn 9 hours. They're not speaking because they know they can't answer the hard questions on a news broadcast, which would paint them in a very horrible, horrible light. The bar has a lot to lose because more than likely everybody will get fucking fired. But his bank statements won't lie. So what will his bank statement say? Will the statements contradict what the bar has told us? And they should know better that the bank statements are going to be released eventually. And it's going to show everywhere he went and everything he purchased on that Friday. And you better hope, Luke 32, owner, manager, bartender, that that's all it says, is that he bought one mixed drink and what, 2 bottled waters? Or 2 glasses of waters, I don't know. Where is Riley Strain? Is he alive or is he deceased? And now Tay-Tay, you got my mind wondering, she took the card. Could be, I don't know. But like I told somebody the other day, I said it sure will be interesting to find out. This has all been a dirty game. That somebody had something to lose and they fabricated a story. Or they let the story unfold as if something happened to him. Is that what we're looking at? Because I got a feeling I'm looking at something that's not real. And like I said, it could be just the obvious. I don't know what's going on. So everything's fuzzy. But what if we find out this is a faux crime? That the intent was to make it look like I am inebriated, I am tore up, bent up, to go off, to sit somewhere to think, to meditate on life decisions. Was this boy in trouble? Some type of legal trouble? Scholastic? Failing his grades? Wasn't going to graduate on time? What if you find out this has been a hoax? Just say. What if you find out the frat brothers are in on it? Because it doesn't make sense to leave your brother behind in a strange city and you do not tell the news what time you left the bar, what time you got back to your room, calling at 1:46 p.m., telling you also noticed he wasn't in his room, all that suspect. You should have called the police when you got back to the room and realized he wasn't in his room. He wasn't answering his phone. You should have called then. You don't wait 16 hours to call the police. If you can wait 16 hours, you could have just not called at all. That's my personal opinion. And I understand we're in a world of survival of the fittest, but you all went there together. We get it. Everybody can't watch everybody in the bar and be their caretaker. We know this, but your situation is different. You all took a total trip together from Missouri. So you all should have been looking out for one another. We can't just keep sugarcoating it and act like you all weren't friends. The card. Tay-Tay's mom says she took the card, so then Tay said, where would she have gotten the card from? What if you find out he gave her the card? I bet you weren't expecting that. Lifetime movie. What if they all know each other? Just saying. And I know some people are going to say, damn, Queen, that's cruel. Is it? Because I thought about that yesterday. I said, what if they all know each other? What if they all concocted this story? For these women to be heroes of finding a card of a missing man. Because we have learned that people are wacky and they do some crazy shit. And then you have to ask yourself, well, damn, if we're going to go this deep into it, that means all these people were conspiring together. What's the common goal? Attention. Let me tell you something I'm going to check out of here. When you watch fictional movies that have intricate plots of people swindling each other, lying to each other, grifting, the one thing you have to ask yourself when you're watching those type of movies, because I watched one like that last week called Guess Who on Tubi. Please check it out. It's one of my movie suggestions. It's conning within a conning. Okay? It's a con within a con. Just bear with me. Somebody wrote that. And somebody wrote that because that's how people think. Or they know of somebody who did something similar. Okay? I will say, when you watch these fictional movies, books, it's coming from in here, the creator's mind. And then you got to ask yourself, damn, did he think up that? How did she think up that? Because somebody thinks like that. And what have you always been told by detectives? In order to catch a killer, you got to think like a killer. Okay. You got to think like a killer. If they searched it, though, Tay-Tay, that's where we have the problem. If they actually searched it. But what I'm saying to you is, the stories you watch on TV, movies, it's made up from here. And it's put on paper in a script. Okay? So what you have to always remember, somebody made that up. So if a person can make up a story and put it on script and sell it as a movie, you should know somebody else could think that up and exact it as a crime. And it ain't no movie. That's the point. People actually think like what you see in the movies. That's the gist of the story. That what appears make-believe, somebody's already done it. I'm praying that that is not the case here. But that went through my mind. And I said, damn, why am I thinking that maybe this is fake? Because when they said something about the body popping up, it just threw me off. And I said, oh, wait. Ain't no way the body popped up. It ain't his body. And then the card is just lying here. I said, damn, that's a hell of a coincidence, is it not? And it's not to say, don't get me wrong, that this is all coincidental. Body just happened to float, and these girls were out and they went to help and they found the card. Could be. Or is this manufactured for a common cause? You get something from lying as a TikToker. The lead of the story pops up with a wild story of being kidnapped or lying out somewhere and came to. Everybody rushes to congratulate the TikTokers, and somebody is congratulating him that he's been found alive. We're glad you're okay. What happened to you? And then he has to spin the story. Tay said, do they have a lot of money? Well, they obviously don't have a lot of money because they have a GoFundMe, that's helping to pay for their stay in Nashville naturally, $38,000 so far. Another gone girl. Thank you. Please check out Guess Who. Because it's going to blow your mind. That was my movie suggestion last week. Besides Stepdaughter, they're both playing on Tubi. If this case has got you befuddled, you will definitely want to watch Guess Who, free on Tubi. Come back and talk to the queen about it. We'll chop it up. I'll do a live just on the movie alone. And you tell me what you think. Because just like I said, those stories come from the imagination, the script, the book. So if somebody could think it in their head and put it into a movie, what makes you think somebody wouldn't go out and do it for real? That's the point. I pray that this is not a faux crime. We are now approaching into week 2 of a missing man, and things are shifting strangely. And like I said, if you can start knocking the pins down to this person lying, this person possibly lying, this person's not speaking publicly, then what am I to believe about the person in the story, which is Riley Strain? Exactly, 24. Also interesting, cops say no foul play, and the news saying authorities reducing the search. Yeah. If they scale it back like what happened with Sebastian, your mind is going to go into that direction of why. So then you have to use deduction. They possibly know something. Thank you so much. Someone says, I'll keep wondering why his frat brothers let him leave alone if he was that drunk and he's not from the area. Well, allegedly none of them. But then the Godfather says they've been there before and they go there each year for a formal. So it's a matter of, do you believe he knows his area? He knows his way around downtown. He's walked the streets before at night, day, I don't know. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. You're getting bits and pieces of this one talking, and then you're trying to decide what is the truth, because you don't have anything else to go on but what these people are telling you. So has he been downtown more than once? Has he walked the streets before? He knows how to navigate. He doesn't have any fear walking downtown because he's been down there before. Checkmate. Maybe, Tay-Tay. Maybe. The whole thing doesn't make sense and hasn't from the beginning. It will be interesting to see how it plays out. Yes, Heather, yes. One had enough sense to walk in down the stairs to the door. Why not walk into the hotel? Well, because I didn't want to stop partying. That's why. Think about it. You're out of town to have fun. Somebody's drunk, buzzkill. He's killing the fun. He's drunk. He's got to go. Why should I have to go? Oh, I know he's my friend. He's my frat brother, but I ain't ready to go. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is some bullshit because I refuse to believe they all plummeted out of there because he got kicked out. Wouldn't you leave with the person you came with if they got kicked out? You all there together. So we're going to leave together. Why not? He's drunk. You going to let a drunk person run around the city? Hello, Evie. Thank you for joining me. Think about it. Hell no. You wouldn't do that if you cared. Let me say that. If you cared, you would make sure to leave with your party. Thank you, Heather. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm about to go. I'm almost at 3 hours. But feel free, watch this video later. Start it from the beginning. Catch me. Listen to my true story that I play in here that I did a live yesterday. I play it in this live stream of a woman who got stranded at a bar a year ago. I gave her a ride home. You get to listen to me talk about that. It's a true story. She was very drunk and nobody wanted to give her a ride. And I gave her a ride home because it was the right thing to do. But I'm just showing everybody is not like that. Few people heard her, knew she was stranded, and nobody said a word. I was the only one saying, well, where do you live? Where do you stay? Because we're walking out the bar. It's closing. We're all coming outside. Everybody's going to their car. She had nobody to take her home, and she lived across town. Her ride left her because they had a disagreement. Okay? She was drunk, running her mouth, talking to somebody at their car, and the girl was ready to go. She wouldn't get in the girl's car, so the girl drove off. And she left her. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But that's the point. It's that you have got to be aware of your shit at all times. Because it doesn't matter if you're drunk or not. You do not need to be out here wandering the streets at night. Daytime is one thing, not nighttime. A man can get gone just like a woman. Then you put in alcohol, you factor in alcohol, you're sloppy drunk, you're falling all over yourself. Somebody knows you're down there. Oh, yeah, I know he got some money. White boy, he got some money. He down here drinking. He done got towed up in one of the bars. Hell yeah, you're ripe for the taking. I pray he's alive because I don't want to hear that this young boy, got hurt, got murdered. And when you watch the video, it's hard to watch. And this is why I don't like watching the video anymore. I don't want to keep watching him slumping over and all that. It eats away at me looking at that because it's just like, oh my God, this is horrible. But what is scary now is seeing allegedly what this lady just said on News Nation about a 10-minute interval. He's walking upright past the cop. Now, one could say, oh, he saw the cop walking, so he tried to, straighten up. But think about what you're saying. This man was just falling down and sloppy drunk. So now he sees a cop, he straightens up. Think about what you're saying now. He's thrown out because he's drunk. He's running down the street, which is suspicious, like somebody was chasing him. He falls down. Some of us thought maybe he hit his head. He gets up disoriented. He's playing around with a phone or doing a selfie, whatever. And then in this short amount of time, 10 minutes, he's walking by a cop. And he ain't falling down. Make it make sense. Thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. If you want to donate to this great network, $Begansy 129, Cash App, stickers, and chats. Always welcome to the live stream. I will be back. And that next slide, we're going to chop it up. Is this story real? No disrespect to Mr. Strain or his family, but this is what I do. I chop up every situation to try to make it make sense. And you will want to go to my community page to listen at the cop who spins the story of what happened here. And that is one of his theories, is that this could be a fake crime. Thank you for joining me. You've been listening to the Vlog XL. Thank you for your time.